Okay, so for this video, I'd like to show you some one-point perspective drawing that I'd like you to attempt at some point. So, the first thing you need to do with one-point perspective drawing is give yourself a horizon, and this horizon I'm going to put towards the top section of a page. That's about the top quarter, and on that I'm going to mark a vanishing point, which I'm going to put over here. It's this X. Now, to understand one-point perspective drawing, every line that's not on the front of the shape, if it's on the side, should generally go to our vanishing point over here. So first I'll draw a cube just to show you the basics. So to draw a cube, first we draw a square. Just need to adjust that slightly. Think about there. So a good way to make sure that your lines are always parallel is when you draw that one in, just checking on the other side of the ruler that there's an even gap from your other line you want it to be parallel to. Tidy your shape up. So the next thing is we need to put on the side of the cube, and so we're going to go from all the corners that are going to be drawn towards this vanishing point. Now we're not going to do this corner, because if you imagine this shape is solid, this line would go through that square. I'm going to put a faint line there. Neat trick is to place your pencil on the point and then bring your ruler towards it. It's the quickest way to do that. And then the same over here. So now we've got a cuboid that runs off into the distance and it vanishes here. So it gives us the impression that it's just super, super long and it just continues almost forever. So what we're going to do is add on another vertical line like this one parallel to it. I'm trying to think of what would be a suitable distance on this side of the shape, considering this bit is that wide. So what I'm going to do is put a line in and just step back and think, does that look correct? I think that's about right. With one-point perspective, it's difficult without doing lots and lots of extra lines to work out the exact sort of distance here. So now I need to go across, and this needs to be parallel with the top of the cube. So I'm going to start at that point there and just make sure that that runs parallel. I can check it against the horizon line as well. So that's the other line for the cube, and then we can rub these guidelines out that we don't need anymore. Okay, so there's our cube, and this is in one-point perspective. Now the next thing I'd like you to do is to start thinking about how we can draw actual products or furniture, I suppose might be a good one to start with. So again, I'm going to give myself an horizon line. It would be good if you pause the video and just attempt doing the one-point perspective cube I've shown you, and that will give you a good starting point, kind of recap, refresh your mind on some of the rules to this drawing technique. I'm going to put my vanishing point in the same place. So I've got my horizon, my vanishing point. Now I want to draw a table, okay? A table. So what I'm going to do, just like when I did the cube, I started with a square on the front, so thinking about it two-dimensionally. So I want to draw a table, and this table needs to be drawn two-dimensionally from the front. I'm going to put it over here, and then I'll extend it backwards. So the table has, we're drawing on its side view. So it's got a top, and that top also kind of has a bit of a thickness to it. So I'm going to put 2 lines there and then just finish them off. Next thing is we need to add on some legs for our table. So I'm going to come in slightly to about there, and then I'm going to draw the other side of the leg. I'm going to give myself a little mark to work out the same distance over here to there and about there. And what I can do is just line my ruler up with those marks, check that it's parallel here, draw my line straight down. This one, it's good to make sure that we're checking against this line, because this is the closest line. That's the one that will make it look incorrect if it's not parallel with it. So finally, for the legs, we need to add on the bottom of them there. So that is a really, really basic 2-dimensional view, side view of a table. It's got a top, 2 legs. But now we need to show some perspective on it. So just like we did with the cube, we're going to take some lines from the corners that would go up to the vanishing point and ignore these ones. So I'm first going to do the top of the table. Take that over to the vanishing point, and also the edge lines as well. They need to be drawn on too. Now we need to think about the legs. They need to have a thickness to them. So I'm only going to do that line a bit shorter this time. And then the other line here. And then to finish these legs off, we need to add on another line there. Think about that width. And then do the same over here. So now we've got 2 legs, and we just need to rub out those sections there. Now our table top is going all the way off into the distance. So what we want to do now is just kind of cut it off with a nice parallel line. Oops. A nice parallel line that matches up with the lines at the front. So these lines here running horizontal. We need to add on another horizontal line here. What might be useful is if I actually use that horizon line on the other side of the ruler, and then we pencil that line in there. Now this is an edge, and it comes down here, so it goes down vertical here as well, like that. Get rid of these lines. Move those. Okay, and then finally we've got to put on the 2 legs at the back. So to tell us where those legs go down to, we need to check with a line from the bottom of these legs running up to the vanishing point, and just put a little marker here to tell us where this leg will go down to, because it needs to match up with the length of that one. And we'll do the same with this leg over here. Okay, so this line will tell me where that leg comes down to. So next, what we want to do is put a vertical line in for the back leg. And because it's further away than this leg, this bit will be much thinner over here. So you want to do that line a bit closer, like that. And then this width here, this is further away, so this width here will be shorter than the space between these 2 lines. So this comes across horizontally, like that. And then it will go up vertically. Okay, so now we've got one back leg, we need to do the same over here. So this corner here, that is just like there, just like there, just like there. So I need to think about that leg just coming down just inside the corner. So I'm going to see it when it comes to here. This line that runs across, we can use that as well. That's going to be handy. Just going to draw that bit there. And the width of this bit will be the same over here. And we're going to have like a little segment that runs up there like that. So you don't see a lot of that leg. It's hidden behind quite a lot of the table, but it's good to be able to make sure we can draw it where we need it to be. Okay, so that's a really simple table design. And then so you could put some shading on that. You could begin to change the shape. If I was designing, I might start to shape the legs, kind of bring them down at slight diagonals, taper them a little bit. I might want to create some like raised up areas on the table, and I could do that quite easily on this drawing now. Great to use a fine liner at this stage as well, so we can go over some of the lines and neaten it up. So the last thing you could have an attempt at is drawing a perspective, 1 point perspective chair. So horizon, vanishing point. Let's do our two-dimensional view of the chair. So that's the mark for where the seat is going to come across. The seat of the chair is there. And then we've got a bit of thickness to that material. So we're going to double the line up, pencil in the end, and then add in another leg. This width, same as the width on the other side of that leg there, and we need to come across and finish it at the same place there. Okay, so I've got a really simple two-dimensional chair there. Now we can start to use our vanishing point. So with this time, what I'm going to do is actually just transfer all my lines over towards that vanishing point. Remove what I don't need later on. Hopefully speed things up a little bit. Okay, so chair width is that wide there, but this is going backwards, so we don't want to make it too long here. So this has got perspective. Gets smaller as it gets further away, so I'm going to finish it about there. So that means, because I've got a vertical line there, I now change direction. So just like this bit changes direction by 90 degrees. So from here I'm going to go across, and then we've got the back of the chair, so it needs to come up. And just like here, we need to go across horizontally. We've got two legs here. Sorry, I've missed out that vanishing point line there. So we've got our two legs, and we now need to trim these down a little bit. to decide next where our back two legs are going to be. So I'm going to draw the outside line first because I just want to come in slightly there. Draw that down. Done one leg there. Now we need to do this one over here. So I've drawn this line across just to check if that line was correct, and I don't think it was, because this line looks like it's kind of in line with the back line that would be on that leg, which you can't see. So that line's incorrect. I'm not going to use it. What I'm going to do is use this line that's come across from that leg and use that to just go straight up here, and then just create this front bit of the leg which has a bit of thickness there. And now we've got this side here, so I need to use another vanishing point line and just pencil that in there. So now just remove what you don't need. Okay, so you should be left with a nice simple 1 point perspective chair. So it'd be nice if you could have a go at the 1 point perspective cube, then have a go at the 1 point perspective table, and then if you get onto it, try our 1 point perspective chair. Keep these drawings because they'll be useful for adapting your designs later on if we feel like we want to do that. Okay, good luck.